Hey everybody, in this video we're going to take a look at the free assets for the month of May. Now there are 5 asset packs and they all look pretty incredible for this month. And I think I'd like to take a look at the horse starter kit first. So I'm going to take a look at this. It looks like we have some horse and riding assets, which is actually really rare to find when it comes to free assets. So for RPG games, when it comes to mounts and riding things, it's really hard to find animations and assets for mounts. And here we have this pack that has all the animations and even some animation blueprints set up for us. So this is great. I'm going to go ahead and create the project. All right, so it looks like I'm finished compiling all the shaders, and this is the project. So it looks like there's a sign here telling me how to actually play this with a gamepad. So I'm going to have to get one of those out. I'm going to try first with a keyboard and mouse and see if it works, but it says the horse movements are more natural using a gamepad. You get more use of the 2D movement blend spaces that way. And I'm guessing that means because the thumbsticks are pressure sensitive, so that makes sense. Now this is a pretty good looking environment, some pretty decent assets here, and I'm looking at this horse here. It looks like there are a couple of big collision boxes there, and I'm guessing that that is going to relate to the animations in some way. And right away I see the epic mannequin in the pose. It's the old mannequin, but that's okay. Let's take a look at this. Let's hit play and see what happens. And it looks like I have a third-person character, and there are signs telling me what to do. So that's pretty nice. It says press F to call your horse. So I'm going to hit the F key, and the horse comes to me. So that's cool. It looked like 2 horses came to me actually, and then it just runs away right away. So that's interesting. I'm going to hit F again. Yeah, so it looks like all horses come. And now I don't know how to mount, but I'm going to assume I can press. Okay, I have to do it right away. So I'm going to hit F. Here comes the horse. I'm going to hit a key. I'm going to hit the E key. Looks like E just happened to work. So yeah, no signs instructing me how to mount. Now I'm moving the mouse and I can only change the pitch, but it looks like as soon as I start moving, I can change the yaw as well. I'm guessing I can jump. Yeah, space can jump if I hold. Looks like shift is the button to sprint or to run or gallop. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's the sign. Hold shift to gallop. This looks pretty good. There's a little bit of camera lag, which gives it a little bit of a good, more natural feel. I kind of want to see how this feels with a gamepad, so I think I'm going to go ahead and plug one in. So I'm going to go ahead and shift escape to get out of this. All right, so I went ahead and plugged in an Xbox controller. I'm going to go ahead and press play and just see how this feels with the controller. It's pretty sensitive actually, so I might have to get used to that. And I do kind of need to, yeah, that's really sensitive for the pitch. And let's see, mount horse looks like X, and see if I get a horse that come to me. Yeah, here it comes. Mount is this button. So I'm going to mount the horse. Yeah, that pitch is way too sensitive. I'm not sure I like that, but let's see. So yeah, I can barely press the thumbstick and get the walk animation. So that's that pressure sensitivity that they were talking about. I already forgot how to sprint or gallop. Let's see, I can run with this button. So, and there's an NPC coming and sort of joining me. So that's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and gallop. And yes, it feels pretty good. I don't know if it feels better than keyboard and mouse. I actually think that pitch is way too sensitive, but you could easily go into the blueprint and code, or I'm assuming it's all blueprints. Maybe there's some C++ code. Let's see if I can jump. So the sign said press space to jump. So that's interesting. It looks like the signs along the pathway are for keyboard. But yeah, I'm not sure if I like this more than keyboard and mouse or not. But it does feel pretty decent. Aside from that pitch, man, that needs to be fixed. I'm not sure I like that. It's kind of ruining the experience, but again, that's easily fixable, so I can overlook that. Can't really jump over anything too high. See if I can double jump like Elden Ring. No, I can't. But yeah, that's something you could probably implement on your own. Here are the horse walk, idle, trot, and gallop animations. That's cool. Now, this is really great. Look at the tail. Look at the mane. It's kind of just blowing in the wind. That's pretty nice. I'm just really stoked to even have horse animations for free like this. This is just really great. Let's see, that jump animation is okay. It looks like there could be some work. I mean, we get the Maya and the ZBrush files with this pack. So, you know, if you have any animation skills, you could probably fix that. I think that the horse jump, like the in-air animation, looks a little funny, if you see what I mean. It kind of just freezes there in the air until you land. So, you know, not the best in-air animation, but it's okay. It'll do the trick, I guess, but that could use some improvement. But overall, I'm happy with the trotting. Trotting looks good, and the galloping looks really good, especially the fact that, you know, you have the horse animation and the mannequin animation in sync. Now, this is funny. I'm just kind of circling on the left thumb pad, and that looks a little funny, but yeah, that's something you could probably program a little better. I mean, this is an artist who made this, right? I'm assuming, who just kind of threw together something in Unreal so you can, you know, have it applied and, you know, see how it works. But yeah, you could probably program that movement a little bit better. And the pitch, man, the pitch is just awful. I'm going to switch to mouse and keyboard. Yeah, that feels a lot better because the pitch is more responsive. I kind of like this water here. Well, I didn't look at it very closely. It's okay. But overall, though, I'm pretty happy with this pack. I think it looks pretty good. Can't go up there. But yeah, I think I would almost... Well, you do have walk backwards animations. That looks pretty good. Yeah, the trotting backwards looks good. The horse kind of looks back while it's walking backwards. That's a pretty nice touch. So yeah, so this is the horse mounting, dismounting, I forget what it's called, horse starter kit. There's some pretty nice things in here, like the horse AI. I like how the horses come to you. I'm not sure how these collision volumes work. I'd have to look at the blueprint, but I'll dig into that another day. I think I'm going to wrap this up for the horse starter pack, but there is a nice little billboard here that shows that there are other animal packs. So animals are always great to put into a game. So that is the horse starter pack. So let's look at the other free for the month assets. So we took a look at the horse starter pack. I suppose we can work backwards and take a look at this Reef Kit. It looks like it's some underwater assets, so that's interesting. Fully customizable set of assets to create a living, breathing underwater scene with a variety of dynamic seaweed, coral, rocks, landscape material, and particle systems. Wow, that sounds pretty sweet. All right, so I got the level overview open here. So let's zoom in and take a look. Looks like there are possibly some LODs. Kind of hard to tell, but zooming in, let's see what these look like. So there's an old rusty propeller. That's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and hit play and see if there's anything dynamic going on here. Yeah, these are kind of waving, but they're barely moving, so that's pretty cool. Got a little tunnel here, so that's pretty sweet. There are collisions on there. Let's see if the collision hull is, yeah, I can go inside. So I can't go through that side, unfortunately. I'm going to go ahead and show the collision. Show collision, and that's the collision. So pretty decent job on the collision. Oh, it looks like I can go through. I was just hitting that top part. And you could probably reuse that if you wanted like a dungeon or something like that. I think I'll take a look at the showcase map. All right, yeah, so I figured it would look a lot better all put together. Looks like there's a post-process effect going on here. Yeah, these look pretty good, all waving in the water, sort of flowing. Let's go ahead and hit play and see what this looks like. Now, of course, I'm just running around, but you know, you could enter swimming mode, and if you have some swimming animations, then this could look pretty good. I like that effect of the light. That's pretty nice. Let's see what else we got here. I want to see how that shark is used in this example, because I'm not sure how you are supposed to put the shark head together. There's the propeller, and I was hoping to see the jellyfish as well, so hopefully we'll see that in in there. Oh, look, I think I can jump in here. Can I jump down? I can. I don't know if I can get back up. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to restart just to get back out of there. So overall, this looks pretty good for an underwater scene. I can't seem to find the shark. Where's the shark? I just want to see why the shark head and body are not together. And, you know, a nice touch would have been if you could swim around, if there were some basic swimming animations. I think that would make this pack a little bit more attractive, because really you're just going to have to go and find swimming animations and program swimming. So a simple character blueprint with swimming enabled would be good. I could even just enable flying mode or something. I think in the Reef Kit, here's, oh, there's a shark pond. Why isn't the shark pond in here? I'm going to drag that in and just see what's going on there. In fact, it's got a camera on it, so I'm assuming you can possess that shark, maybe. Let's see what the game mode is. No game mode override. So I'm just going to set the auto-possess player to true here, or to player 0, rather. And let's hit play and see if we can possess this shark. And wow, okay. All right. So we have a shark that we can pilot and swim around. That's pretty cool. So that's why we don't have a character that can swim, because we have a shark. So that's pretty awesome, actually. That actually makes this asset pack a lot better, I think. I like the shark. So we're kind of just, I don't seem to be able to fly up, or I should say swim up. I'm just kind of stuck to the ocean floor. I'm wondering if you could just enter flying or swimming mode. Let's open this shark blueprint. Here's the blueprint. You know, some basic movement functionality looks like. Let's see if there's a character movement component. There's an input axis move up. Let's go to the project settings. I'm going to scroll over to inputs and see what move up. And it's an axis mapping, so let's add that move up. So move up, spacebar, why not? Let's see what happens if we complete that. There we go. That was a weird glitch though. And it's just kind of jumping and it glitches out. I don't know, I broke it. I would probably just program my own movement functionality just so I know how it works. I'm also noticing when I jump up that I can tell that the head of the shark is separate from the body, and probably just because I know that already. I probably wouldn't notice it if I didn't already know, but you can kind of see that the head is sort of not attached to the body. But that's not a big deal. This is a pretty good looking shark, so that's pretty cool, and I think it's a nice touch that they added this blueprint so that you can, you know, swim around and take a look. But pretty nice though. Overall, you have a nice little underwater scene, and you can use this if you want some underwater in your game. All right, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. All right, back in free for the month. Now, the next one I'm pretty excited about. This is a modular medieval brick buildings. This looks awesome. And this one can be added to a project as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just add it to my horse starter pack. So it looks like we have asset showcase and third person example map. I'm wondering if that's the actual demo map. Let's take a look at asset showcase first. The trees are sprites, so I'm guessing that is for a tree far in the distance. But this tree here is actually a tree mesh. So that actually looks pretty good. A couple rocks over here. So 2 or 3 different types of trees. Here are the banners, and this is what I'm really interested in, customizable banners. I'd kind of like to look into that, see how that works. Here's some pretty decent looking shelves, hand-painted textures it looks like, and some pretty nice chairs. This is some kind of chapel or a church, and there's a podium. Yeah, so these all look pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing how this all looks together, and some geometry. And we got those big castle turrets up there, and that's pretty awesome. If you need a castle, well, we got one here. Oh, and there's the firehouse. So let's take a look at these particle systems. Some pretty good looking smoke. The fire looks pretty decent. And I'm wondering if these are Cascade or Niagara. I'm going to browse to these, and it looks like they're Cascade. Yeah, they're Cascade. Looks like this is an older set that they've sort of revamped, but it looks good. The fire looks pretty decent. The smoke looks pretty good. And I like the wavy effect with the fire. I'm not a big fan of the lens flares, but I do like that wavy effect. That's a really nice touch. And yeah, these look good. I'm looking forward to seeing that demo scene. And look at the stained glass. Wow, that's nice. I like the reflections there. That looks pretty good. So let's take a look at this other map. So let's see, we have maps, third person example map. I'm not going to save the changes I made there. So let's take a look at this. And here we go. Now I'm seeing a message. Lumen is enabled, but has no ray tracing data. So this project is using ray tracing. Either configure Lumen to use software distance field ray tracing and enable generate mesh distance fields in project settings, or configure Lumen to use hardware ray tracing and enable support hardware ray tracing in project settings. Well, let's go to project settings and support hardware ray tracing. I'm going to go ahead and check. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes and use hardware ray tracing when available. Go ahead and do that under Lumen, and we'll have to restart. All right, so after compiling a ton of shaders, I'm back. I'm going to go back to the third person example map. All right, so I have ray tracing enabled. Let's go ahead and play test this thing, see how it looks. All right, so right away, I'm controlling the old third-person mannequin. It says mannequin for preview purposes needs third-person controls as input in project settings. I don't know if that means movement and other capabilities are programmed into the blueprint, and we just need to enable those inputs in project settings or what, but maybe I'll take a look at the blueprint later. But the foliage looks pretty great. I think that those plants are looking pretty good. The trees, everything, the atmosphere looks pretty nice. Let's go over to the well, see how that looks. Yes, still, no, it's not still blocked off. There's water in there. That looks great. Yeah, so there's a pretty big level here. I'm really enjoying those mountains in the background. That looks pretty great. I think that's something I would definitely use in an open world project of my own. So yeah, this is looking good. And the castle itself is pretty huge. And so yeah, and I'm liking this fence here with the spikes. That's really nice. Kind of reminds me of Elden Ring a little bit. And you know, the bushes, you know, up close, they don't look so great, but from far away, they kind of quiver and look like the wind is blowing. So I think that looks pretty good. And overall, I like the art style. Everything looks nice and cohesive. Let's see if I can go up here. I can jump. I can't run. Probably could probably fix that with the character movement component. But yeah, let's just kind of explore here. This is a pretty nice demo level, actually. I would definitely consider using something like this as an asset pack for a town and, you know, with a castle. And this would be a great little quest. You could put some enemies here. All right, here are the opening doors. I'm going to press E and they open. No sound. I don't hear anything. In fact, I don't hear anything at all in this level. So, yeah, I don't think there's sound unless I'm mistaken. This door doesn't open. The door itself looks really great though. And the textures, the floor, you know, some good PBR textures here. This is a nice little room. I'm really impressed by this asset pack overall. I think it looks really great. And if it meshes with your style of your game, you could easily add this as a little section or a level of its own. I don't think there's much down there. Looks like just some trees. But wow, this road goes up all the way up here. But this is really well put together. And someone took a lot of time to make this level. Kind of want to just go into the character blueprint and increase that max angle, that max walk angle. Because those, by default, those stairs are not walkable. I can't actually walk up them. Let me take a look at the collision here. I'm going to show collision. And wow, yeah, okay. So it looks like it's using complex collision for these stairs, not the most optimized. In fact, it looks like we're using complex collision for a lot of these things. Look at that. Yeah, so that the collision is not really optimized here. It's something you'd probably want to take a look at, making some collision hulls. It's an easy way, kind of an easy way out of just enabling complex collision. You know, use complex collision as simple, and then things will block the character. But it's more expensive. But I don't seem to have any issues with FPS. I'm going to show FPS here. And yeah, I got a solid 60, 75 FPS, so not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and hide collision because this looks kind of better without it. There's some more of the fire, like the sparks there. Oh, it's a weapons rack. That's nice. Oh, and a guillotine. Wow. Got a guillotine in there. There's a lot of assets here. And, oh, a training dummy. Okay. Okay, this is a great asset pack. We got training dummies. That is great. Yeah, that's something that every MMO, every RPG needs is a training dummy. You can whack away at that thing to train. Yeah, that is great. This would be a great training yard. You know, the beginning tutorial for a game, you start off here and then something says whack the dummy and you go and whack the dummy and then get your first quest over here. This is great. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by this. Now, I'm not going to lie, it took forever to compile the shaders for this thing. Over 10,000 shaders, and it was just ginormous, but this is a big level. Okay, some more stairs I can't climb up. And, you know, adding some simple geometry, some collision hulls to this would fix that. You should be walking up a ramp. Unless, of course, you know, you do some leg IK, then you can have stairs, but that's fine. Yeah, overall, this is looking great. Okay, so we do have some, you know, geometry there blocking us, so we can't jump over. Yeah, I like the weapons. Nice and simple. A lot of props in this. A ton of assets. This is just really, really involved, really in depth. I'm not sure if I've even ran through the entire map, but this looks great. Let's see if I can't. Yeah, I can go this way. No blocking volume there. And I don't know if I've come this way yet. Maybe. No, I don't think so. I haven't seen this house. Okay, yeah, that's the house I went in. I think I've come full circle. So, wow, this is a very impressive asset pack. You know, this with the horse asset pack, if you can get some mounts working and ride through this town, that'd be a pretty great experience. Doesn't look like I've gone in here. Oh, the chapel. Wow, it just keeps coming. There's a lot of stuff here. Here's the chapel or the whatever it is, a church, and a little bit of an upstairs area here. And yeah, wow. This is cool. I could see some zombies and skeletons in here and have a little bit of a Diablo kind of feel to it. Yeah, overall, really impressive asset pack. That's really great. I'm going to go ahead and close out of it. I'm not going to save anything. And let's take a look at the next asset pack. So back in free for the month. And the next thing are some Niagara FX, some of my favorite things in all of Unreal Engine. And it looks like this was the asset pack that had these pickups. I've used this in my multiplayer course, and it looks like they've added some things to this, which is awesome. So we'll go ahead and add it to the same project since I'm just, you know, kind of using the same project tonight. And I now have, it looks like it's SA Mega Pack. Let's take a look at the levels. So let's see, some changes from source. We'll go ahead and import those. And we have a attack pack, ice skill set, level pickup, level projectile, level ray, and level shooting. So there's levels for each of these. Now I'm already familiar with these pickups. I've used them. Like I said, in my multiplayer shooter, my Unreal Engine 5 C++ course. Real quick, for those of you who haven't seen what these look like, they're really nice. Basically, just some effects, you know, some pickups. They do come with pickup effects. So they just kind of look like this, you know, they kind of, something you can play while you're picking up the pickup. There's an energy one, little lightning bolts. We have a coin burst, So yeah, some nice pickups. They're beautiful, especially in the dark like this, and they are emissive. I'm going to go back to the Mega Pack and go to Levels, and let's start at the beginning with the Attack Pack. All right, so we're in the Attack Pack level. Let's go ahead and take a look. So over here at the left, here's a nice little meteor type effect with some bubbling light. That looks pretty cool. Let's see, over here we have a couple things going on. I'm going to back up a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty cool. A little bit of a barrier and a ground effect. The ground effect looks nice. So that's pretty cool. Moving on, there are some random attacks. That's a pretty nice little vortex there, and some fire, kind of stylized. Looks pretty good. Let's see. Oh, an arrow. Interesting. And it's spiraling. That's actually really cool. And we have a fireball. So some pretty basic fire attacks. All right. So that's Attack Pack. Let's take a look at level Ice skill set. All right. Completely dark. I'm going to go ahead and press play. Whoa. Okay. All right, that's pretty epic. Look at that. Some ice cubes, launching projectiles. Okay, I'm not looking at the beginning. Let's start with the beginning here. Looks like a falling stalactite of ice, big ice icicle. That's pretty impressive. It looks really great in the dark. I could see why they made this a really dark level. Looks like there's a target and a source. So that's great for gameplay ability system. Something like this would be a really nice asset pack to use if you're learning gas, because, you know, you're going to want a lot of different types of abilities, right? Not just swing a sword or jump. You know, if you could launch a giant ice beam, that would be pretty awesome. And also, these are great for boss fights. I mean, look at this thing over here. This is pretty impressive. Now, I'm kind of not a fan of how it just disappears. It could crumble. I mean, it would be better if it crumbled, but, you know, that's okay. It does look great. It does look like ice. I think I would just prefer if it crumbled. I'd be more likely to use it if these ice, or if they sunk into the ground or melted or something. You know, I'm not a big fan of how it just disappears like that. But overall, really nice. Pretty nice system. I like this projectile ice thing there. That looks great. Oh, and I didn't see this come out of the ground. That's one of the coolest things here. It's always nice when you can summon up some spikes from the ground. That is a really nice touch. And think about this from like top-down game like Diablo. You know, these look really big up close, but you could be looking at these from way high up, and they're going to look better because, you know, things that are relatively low poly, I mean, they do look great up close, but that's going to look really nice in a top-down game. So that's a pretty nice. I liked the ice skill set probably better than Attack Pack. That's really nice. So we looked at level pickup. Now we have level projectile VFX. Let's take a look at that. And once again, we are completely dark, and I'm already starting to see some targets and some sources, perhaps. No, maybe just sources. But this is already intriguing. I'm expecting to pretty much be blown away here. So I'm going to start way over here at this side and work my way down. So let's go ahead and hit play. And oh, wow, this is a colorful level. Look at that. Oh my God. Awesome. Oh man, I would definitely get this asset pack if I were working on some gas, you know, working on some gameplay ability system, launching these things. Oh, the possibilities are endless. This thing is sick. I mean, look at that. And let's go to the next one. This is a green. I like the different use of colors. The others were pretty monochrome. This is, and I think there's a little bit of a camera shake going on. Pretty nice touch. This is great. You know, add some sounds to that. Look at that green thing. I want to see what that is. It's like a C-shaped, almost I don't know if it's a hand, but it looks cool. And look at these skulls. Okay, next one is sort of skull effect. Look at that. I should probably hit F11, go into game view here. Yeah, look at that. So it starts off with a skull and then ends with a bunch of skull. That is sick, man. Holy crap. That's amazing. All right, look at the next one. That looks pretty good. Sort of similar to the ice, but not really. It's kind of a blue flame kind of thing. I'm noticing that there are some sprites that pop up. Saw blade shaped, almost like snowflakes. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good effect. I like it. Next we have a purple effect, and I think it's the same thing. I think the rest of these are the same. Nope, they're slightly different. The purple one has a different pattern. Whoever made these, really props to you. Really, really nice job. Let's see this one. Green, and it's more like a flower. That's cool. Kind of a nature sort of effect. Something a druid might use. Really nice. And then finally we have this one. And that one looks amazing. It's kind of like a starfish. Really cool. I'm a really big fan of the particles that spawn burst at the end there. That's really nice. It's at the beginning and the end, and these kind of look like leaves or flowers, and I really like that effect. So in this level, I think the first one is probably going to be my favorite, and the green one looks really good as well. Some poison damage maybe. Overall, I think this is my favorite level so far, but that effect right there, that is just amazing. Higher level ability right there. All right, moving on. So we have level Ray. Let's check this one out. All right, and we have some source and probably some targets that are in the dark that I'm not seeing. Play, and oh yeah, the rays. Look at that. I can't move around, so I'm going to hit F11 to come out. You can cheat by hitting F11 and detaching so I can move around. I really do want to get up close to these and see what they look like. And these are some pretty impressive beams here. This is like, giving me some sort of Final Fantasy vibes. The blue looks similar, just different color. Really nice job on the light emissiveness. And, oh, I like this one. It's kind of got a black with green around the edges. That looks great. And then the yellow one looks pretty similar to the others. And I think there's one past it as well. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. That one's beautiful. I'm going to hit F11, go into game view. That looks nice. Getting some Diablo vibes, the wizard. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Really nice effect. Looks like stars. Really nice. This is a very impressive asset pack, and it's really, really cool that it's free this month. I could really find some interesting uses for these, so really, really nice. All right, getting back out of game view, I'm going to go into level shooting. I like shooters, so hopefully there's some pretty good stuff here. It looks like I was still playing in the editor. I'm going to go ahead and end that session, and let's see how this level looks. And do we have weapons? Looks like we have some basic placeholder weapons. There's a rocket launcher, a sniper. Oh, this is nice. This would probably go good with my shooter courses. So let's press play. Okay. Again, no movable pawn. Looks like there was a pawn that moved, but I'm not possessing it by default. So I'm going to just detach and hit F11 to full screen this. All right, so got a basic grenade. Looks okay. Yeah, nice little trail. Let's see the rocket here. Okay, I like the rocket trail. The trail looks good. Same explosion, it looks like. Pretty nice rocket trail, actually. Yeah, I like it. Okay, sniper. Okay. It's okay. It's stylized, right? It would if it works for your game. And the cool thing is these are all pretty consistent styles. It looks like the projectile's off by a bit there. So maybe some kind of, it looks like some sort of mistake there. But I like the tracer. The tracer looks pretty cool. Interesting, if I move to the left, I can see the tracer a little bit better. It looks pretty good. The style is pretty nice. I do like that muzzle flash. That is a pretty nice stylized muzzle flash. This would be good with a sort of cartoony game. This is an even better muzzle flash, I think. I like that one a little bit better. A little bit nicer with the flowering out of the flames there. And the tracer also with the sparks. Yeah, that looks great. And of course, these have hit particles. You know, I really do like these hit particles. Kind of reminds me of Fortnite. You know, you could use these instead of blood if you don't want to get too graphic. All right, and this one, oh, that one's sweet. Almost like a ray gun. That is cool. These are moving quite quickly. I really like the circles on that. And looks like the same hit particles. So the sparks are a nice touch. Overall, this is really nice for a stylized shooter. If you're using cartoony assets like in my shooter course, that, you know, if you had some gun assets to match, that could really mesh well with the style. The sniper that's pretty cool, actually. It's growing on me. I like it. Overall, I like that all these assets match. So if you are creating a game with a lot of different, look at the gun. It looks like it's moving. If you're creating a game with a lot of different weapons, different types of weapons, like, you know, my multiplayer shooter, we create 7 different types of weapons, and we do employ all of these. So you could download this pack and use that there. So really nice, good assets to have in your arsenal. All right, I'm going to go back into the content drawer, and I think that's all of them. So that's going to conclude this asset pack, and I believe we have one more to go. And we'll go back to the free for the month assets here. I think there's one more, and it's the Stone Pine Forest. All right, so the Stone Pine Forest is another realistic asset pack. It looks really realistic. I wonder if it's using mega scans. I'm not sure, but we can add this to a project. I'm just going to add it to my horse project, horse starter kit. We'll go ahead and add that to the project. All right, so we have a Stone Pine Forest. Here are the maps. It says to open the showcase first. That's what they recommend. I'm expecting this to take a while. I'm going to double click it and see how long this takes. All right, we're here in the showcase, which itself is basically a little map. The trees look great. They're static. There are pines. I'm not sure I've ever seen this kind of tree before. Maybe it's a fictional type of tree, could be procedural. Typically trees don't grow like this, but who knows? Could be totally procedural. I know there's a procedural foliage thing. Look at that, the flowers, this is a great grass right here. This looks nice. I really like the ground texture as well. And the trees over there, those look great. Looks like they're foliage as well. I'm assuming they're procedurally generated, but who knows? We have a nice water. The water actually does look really good. Overall, this is a really high quality asset pack. I'm going to go ahead and hit G so I can get rid of all those things I had selected. And okay, let's see. If you notice the lighting in the scene is dark, you should turn off extended default luminance range and auto exposure settings in your project settings under rendering. It doesn't look dark at all. I think it looks really good. I'm wondering if that is volumetric clouds. I think it is. I think I recognize the volumetric clouds, the default ones. Overall, look at this grass, and we have some really nice plants. And I'm a pretty big fan of this, the irrigation ditches there. That's a really great touch. It looks good. Can we go inside? Yeah, there's interior, although there's some tree coming through. Not a big deal. And yeah, we got interior textures, so that's a big plus. When the buildings don't have interiors, it kind of bugs me. I'm like, I want to go inside. I want to see what it looks like. And, you know, there's no furniture or anything, but you at least have an inside. So with some textures, I can see the seam here on this one. So kind of, yeah, I can see the seams on the inside. I don't know if I can see it on the outside. Yeah, you can see the seams there. Not really well tiled there. But if it's something in the background, you might not notice. But I noticed it. So, you know, players of your game are going to notice that. But if it's far away, you know, you can't notice from back here, but up close, you can notice. So something to think about. Let's see what these maps look like. Now the Goose Land map, I think, is the maze-like terrain where it's really, really big and it's designed to make you feel like it's small. So yeah, let's take a look at this. And right away, I am immediately very impressed. I'm going to hit F11 to get back out of game view and see if I can play. Yeah, so we have a character here, and yeah, basic third person default mannequin. I'm really digging this foliage. This is just incredible looking. A lot of grass. Performance is really good. So this is optimized really well. I'm wondering if this is procedurally generated or if it's just hand painted. The trees are beautiful. The colors, everything looks great. There's a blocking volume there, so I can't go that way. And I'm just going to show collision, see if I can see it. And yeah, there's the blocking volume. Looks like I can't go that way. I'm guessing I can't go this way either. Some pretty good looking lens flares there. I'm typically not a fan, but they look pretty good in this. I'm going to go ahead and disable showing collision. And yeah, looks pretty big. Let's turn up the camera speed and zoom through this and see what we see. Okay, I'm going to hit G, get into game view, hide those collision meshes, and just kind of zoom on through. LODs, really great job. You can see the LODs kicking in about right there. And it's not very obvious, which is not always the case. And so I'm really liking those LODs. Really smooth transitions, really great. And way out in the distance, we have some mountains with trees, and then these are, looks like some cheaper trees. This is great. So we're not using really high poly tree meshes for the distance because they're backdrops, right? We don't need high poly trees way out here. So this is a great way to have a mountain in the distance with lots of trees, and they look high poly, but you zoom in and they're just really basic. So really nice job there. And then when we get back to where the character's supposed to be, we have a lot of foliage. And look at, I'm going to look at my FPS. Let's see. Solid 100 FPS. Really nice, really well optimized here. So this is looking great. Overall, great map. Let's see if I can play from here. And there are, yeah, there was the procedural foliage just kicking in. So it's great because there are gaps in the foliage and there are little clusters of flowers. It looks really good. Overall, really impressive. So great job on this asset pack. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the mountains map. Looks like we have a second map here. So here we have mountains map. I have about 60 FPS. Let's hit play and we're just dropping right in. And yeah, some really nice terrain, really well done. I'm really impressed by the foliage. It looks like basically the same foliage, but man, you can put some really nice, really anything you want here. Got some wide open spaces. This is great for an RPG that's really high def, really realistic. I would definitely use this, and I'm really liking the color and the lighting here. Kind of looks a lot better than the castle pack. Just look around. The colors are vibrant. The greens are really green. The atmospheric fog is not out of control. Things don't look too bright, but they're really bright. And the rocks really look photorealistic. Kind of remind me of, Dragon Age Inquisition or something. Yeah, getting some Dragon Age vibes. Really nice. And I did see the flowers kick in. So, you got those flowers kicking in, and it didn't really look like it broke the immersion very much. I could really see myself, doing battle right here at the top of this. And look at the backdrop. Really beautiful mountains. So overall, this is probably the highest quality asset pack out of the 5 that I looked at. And this is really something you would pay a lot of money for if it wasn't free for the month. But yeah, this looks really great. I'm super impressed. I think this is my favorite of the asset packs tonight. And I highly recommend this if you're looking for photorealistic and really, really beautiful assets. When you can zoom in this close and it looks this good, you know it's good. So yeah, really impressive. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. 5 free assets for the month of May. Download them if you're interested. I'm really, really a big fan of pretty much all of these. I had a couple favorites, but really I'm very impressed by all of them. So hope you like this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. It really helps, and it helps you see when I have new content coming out. So thank you so much. I will see you soon.